Hey there folks, thanks for joining us on another Kickstarter preview. Today we're looking at Gladiatores, Blood for Roses. This is from Bad Cat Games. This is their second game. It's on Kickstarter now. Their first game was Elements. This is obviously, by the name of it, you can tell that it's a gladiator style combat game. It has I want to mention as well, it's Gladiatores, Blood for Roses. So, and that will become relevant as we explain. So Carl and I are going to do a run through for you, or overview for you, so you can see how the game flows. And if you're interested, you can go check out the link, which will be in the description below, and that'll take you to the Kickstarter, where it has, I think, another 16 or 17 days to go, and you can support them. Okay, so suffice to say, this is obviously prototype components and prototype art and etc, etc. So keep that in mind as I go through some stuff. But ultimately what's going to happen is each of us chooses a gladiator. In the prototype that I have here, we have 5 gladiators. So I've got these 4. Carl's got the Rotarius. I'm using the Secutor, but then you've got the Thracian, the Hoplomach, and the Murmelo as well. They each have a different ability. So for example, Tough, Pierce, Backstab, Agile, and Entangle. And each one of them also has their own starting deck of cards. I'm not going to go too much into that now, but just keep in mind that each one has their own starting deck of cards. The abilities is independent to each gladiator, but as we go through the gameplay section, I'll explain them then. The object of the game is we're going to get these events triggered. So we can do a one-off event where it's just a quick one-off sort of exhibition match. But the ideal way you want to play this game is in a season mode. In season mode, you do 3 of these events. So the events will tell you how much roses are available in the pool. Think of roses as like a sort of a favor token, where the more roses you get, the more the crowd are in love with you and want to be your friend. I don't know. And then of course the wreaths are the glory points. So you've got this little glory wheel, and as you gain wreaths from winning combats, winning matches, or gaining a load of roses, etc., you'll be adding them to it like that. The first person to complete their wheel will get a bonus victory points, and then the wreaths themselves are victory points at the end of the game. So small bronze ones are 1 point, silver ones are 2 points, gold ones are 3 points, and then the bigger ones are doubled. So just keep in mind, that's what we're basically, Carl and I, are going to do a season here where we play through 3 events, try and fill up our wheel, gain roses which from the pool, which will then give us more wreaths. In a 2-player game, you don't use this part, but in a 3 and more players game, you can do bets as well, where you can bet. Say for example, if I think Carla's going to win the match, I could put a token down, which we're not going to be using, that has her name on it, and if she wins, I will get bonus wreaths. So that's another way you can earn more wreaths and more glory. But in a 2-player game, obviously you don't use that. Right, so we each start off with 5 rose petals and 4 wound markers. During the game, as we take wounds, if you run out of wounds, you are knocked out and basically are automatically defeated. Or if you run out of cards, then you become exhausted and will start losing rose petals, and your opponent will have obviously an edge on you. So keep that in mind. We also start off with 5 of these tactics cards, and these are ways that you can use once per event to gain more cards, gain more rose petals, etc. I'll cover those in a later point. Okay, so what's going to happen is, during setup, we basically flip over an event. So Chieftain's Shield is what we're going to fight for. There's 12 roses in the pool, or 12 rose petals, and we are fighting for some bronze wreaths, a big wreath and a little one. And Carl and I have got our starter decks that we get with, and then what we're going to draw is we're going to draw 5 more from these 3 decks here. So you've got the attack deck, defense deck, and the oh, I forgot the name of that now. I always forget the name of that. Effect deck. So for example, let's say I'm the active player. I could draw, say, 2 defense cards and 1 attack card, and let's say 2 of these effect cards. So that gives me a little bit of more of a pool to play with, and Carla will then do the same. What are you taking to explain to them?
So I'm going to take 3 defense cards and 2. Yeah, I'll take 2 effect cards.
Okay, so that's the setup. We're now ready to go. Oh, actually, one other thing is we're going to choose our tactics card for the round. So, as I'm going to be the active player, so first player, I'll get to play the first attack. So, I might go with... let's see, I'm going to go with... this one. So that's something we could play during the round as a sort of as a reaction, and then of course our abilities also trigger as well. I'm going to explain the cards and stuff as we go through the gameplay section, otherwise it'll just be too much information with no real relevance to what's going on. But suffice to say, we are set up and ready to go. So shall we get to it? Alright, so we'll cut here and then we'll come back in the gameplay section. Alright, welcome back to the gameplay section. We haven't started yet, so we're going to swing in straight with the first round. So basically what we're doing is the first event. I'm the active player, so I get to play an attack card first as such. So, for example, I'm going to play this thrust. Now, quick anatomy of the card. In the top here, it shows the sword icon, which represents it's an attack card. The name of the card up the top here, which says thrust. And then down these banners is the cards that Carla can play to trump my card. So it kind of has like a rock, paper, scissors element to it, if you like. The only card she can play in response to the thrust is either a dodge or a block. They both say that they are defense cards with a shield. And down here, these abilities are triggered if she doesment play anything. So she has the option now. So, for example, here we have the play attack card. And then it says target plays a defense card or passes. That's Carla now. So she can play a dodge or a block. And she doesn't have to, even if she has the card, she doesn't have to play it. Basically, what you're telling up what the effect would be. If she doesn't play it, she will take a wound, or 2 wounds if I'm using a spear or a trident. I am not. I'm using a sword and a shield.
I'm gonna dodge, and basically attack. That affects me, or
so just she's played the dodge, which is obviously one of the cards she can play. It shows you in the corner. It's a defense card. I can only play a feint in response to this. But before we trigger that, the little wings on this symbol here says she gets to draw a card. So she can draw any card from either the attack, defense, or effect. So she's drawing an attack card. Now, if I don't play anything, the lightning bolt section will trigger, and she will gain a rose petal from the pool. Her tactics card is played to the crowd, which you want to explain it?
So basically, it just whenever you reveal this card to gain a +1
rose petal.
Yeah, you would be gaining an additional rose petal.
Yeah, so if I don't play a feint to this, she'll get 2 rose petals from the pool of 12 that we have. So I go through my hand, and now I have the choice. Do I want to play a feint? So I think I do have a feint. So I'm going to play the feint on top of that. Now you'll notice the feint doesn't have any counter, because what this one says, target must play the same defense card again, or the previous attack action card succeeds. So she needs to play a dodge again, or my thrust will succeed.
Okay, so
I was hoping you didn't have another one of those.
So
because now you get to draw a card again.
I do.
I'm going for a defense card this time. Alright, so now it's back to me. Do I want to play another feint? Because that's the only card I can play. Obviously, the more cards we keep playing, the more we become exhausted. As it's effectively our energy, if you like. I don't know. Do I want to? No, I'm not going to. So, alright, I'll pass, which means you get 2 rose petals. Alright, so that'll end that sort of activation stint, if you like. So those get discarded. The active player moves now to Carla, and she'll get to play an attack card. So we start with quite a large variety, a card pool. but that can dwindle pretty quickly because we keep going back and forth until someone's knocked out or etc. So she's playing a Viper Strike. So this one has, I can only play a deflect in response, and if I don't, I get a wound and Carl will get more rose petals. And if you do, I get to play discard one card and then play disarm. I don't like the sound of that. So I will be playing a deflect. You betcha. So I play a deflect. The ability allows me to draw one card. I'm going to draw a defense card considering I'm on the defensive. Do you have a feint?
Oh yeah, that's not what it's asking. We'll play a stagger or disarm if possible.
That's if you don't play a feint.
Then what?
Then I get to play those, either a stagger
You
or...
get to play
yeah.
that. Okay, I see.
Now, if we were playing multiplayer, let's say four players, I would say chose Carla to fight. Then after that, the active player token would move around to the left. That person then can choose a new gladiator to fight, or we could fight against me or Carla again. But obviously, if everyone's picking on Carla, she'll be running out of cards pretty damn quick.
I don't have anything.
You got nothing.
No.
So no feint. Okay, so I get to play a stagger or disarm if possible. I do indeed have a disarm, which I will play. So it gets to draw one card from target gladiator. Now that's only if you don't have a stab or a deflect. So you see how this goes. Basically, we keep going, sort of parrying, disarming, stabbing, jabbing. Alright, so you get to draw a card. I feel like I was playing a card there to try and get you to reduce the number of cards you have, and you get to draw another one anyway. So now do I want to play a feint? Oh, what's the chances you're going to have another deflect? I'm going to play that again. So, do you have another deflect? Which is the last card you played.
Okay.
Oh, come on, really?
Oh, I don't know. Wait, I'll take...
Okay, I'm going to pass. So now you get the chance to play a stagger or a disarm if possible. If she doesn't, then basically that ends that activation and the active player will move on. Go balls. Target must discard one card and then gain a rose petal. Huh, that's interesting.
No, I gain a rose petal.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Don't go claiming my rose petal.
So I need to discard a card. Okay, I'm going to discard that, and then you get a rose petal.
I get two rose petals.
Yeah. Actually, give me that one back.
And then I'll just take that one.
Yeah. Alright, and then these get discarded. This comes to me. And I am going to cleave you. So, let's do a wound and gain a rose petal, then play a subdue if possible is my ability. You have to play a parry or a block. Actually, now that I think about it, you did draw a couple of defense cards. What's the chances you can have a parry or block? Oh, here it comes. Parry. So I can only play a disarm or grab, which are effect cards. Do I have set cards? Oh, I thought I had one of those. I don't. Unfortunately, I choose to pass.
Okay, so I need to play disarm.
So this is a dual choice. You can either now play a attack card if possible, or play a disarm card if possible. You don't want to play either. Okay, so that ends.
What? A disarm or?
An attack card. Any attack card you want.
Oh, yeah, I could play attack card.
It's not a bad thing to do actually, because your activation will be next, so you can attack me now, and then when we finish this round of attacking and defending, you get to attack me again. And I was so proud of how many cards I had earlier. I'm seem to be running pretty short quickly. So you are playing a thrust. So you're using a net and trident. So this would be 2 wounds if I don't stop this. I don't like the sound of that. So dodge or block. I'm gonna play a dodge. So dodge out the way. I get to draw a card. I'm going to draw one of these. And then you have to play a feint. Or I get to get a petal.
No.
No? Alright, so I get a petal. Woohoo! That ends that activation. My dodge went away. Active player goes to you. And you get to attack me again. Strike. So we do dodge, parry, or block. So as you can see, as the more cards we play, the less likely it is we'll have the trump. As it is in this situation, I do have a parry. So you can now play a disarm or a grab.
I'll use my character's ability, which after my opponent plays a block or a parry card, target must now play a dodge card or instead discard 2 cards from his hand.
Okay, I don't like that. Also, when you use your Gladiator's ability, you get a rose petal, and because of your ability, you get 2. So I have to play a dodge card. So that's interesting. As it happens, we didn't do this on purpose, but my ability, which is agile, is I can play my ability as a dodge card.
That's funny.
So I'm going to do that. I will use him as a dodge card, which means I get a petal as well. Actually, I don't think I can do that.
Because it's a dodge card, not...
No, because...
that's finite.
Yeah, a Gladiator's abilities counts as a finishing move. So basically, it'll...
But it doesn't, because it's telling you that
that's
you can
true.
dodge.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I'm not entirely sure how that works. I don't think you can use anything else to counter it.
Yeah.
It has to be a dodge card. So I don't know how that...
Well, it says play as a dodge card. So
yeah,
I'll do that. But then what that means is the dodge card has a feint on it.
No, I think it's just... that's the end.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it's a finishing move. Yeah.
It's not...
So I just dodged out the way and go.
I mean, unless because it says dodge card, not a dodge.
Yeah.
So does that mean?
Well, we'll go with because in the rules it says it's a finishing move. So it's,
fair enough.
you know, when you use the Gladiator ability, it dodges completely. So that'll end that round. So this goes with me, and then I'm going to use my tactics card, which is all out attack. Draw 3 attack cards. 1, 2, 3. I used this on a previous game in our combination. I'm going to stab you. Do you have a deflect?
Here we go again.
No,
No, I don't.
No?
No.
Okay, so you take a wound, and then I get to play another stab if possible.
It's just ridiculous. I don't like that card.
So I'm going to play another stab. Unfortunately, I don't have any more stabs after that. So when you do, this is something that I never mentioned earlier. When you do wounds to gladiators, you get, they take a wound and you get a rose petal. So, but I'm not 100% sure where, if you take it from the pool that's available or from the reserve. So we're just going to take it from the reserve at the moment. Bad Cat Games can comment under the video to say where it normally comes from. So it's your go. Oh, this is yours. Thrust. So I need a dodge or a block. I do have a block. Have you got a shove or a leap?
No. God. Picked up the wrong rune. Ah, it's interesting. Would that matter?
Leap. So this is gainer. Ah, so there's only one left in the pool. No, only one left because you got your thing out. Your extra one.
Yeah, that's true.
And then play a strike if able. Do you have a strike?
I do. I just thought you had it to... Oh no.
Yeah, it's because this is an instant ability.
Yeah, but then what's the point of having dodge on the side?
You might not have the strike.
Oh, I guess.
Because the strike is also rubbish because it's got all the defensive stuff on.
Yeah, but then what makes it better than...
It's your choice. I mean, you can't do... You do wounds against me, you get you more...
Okay, fair enough.
As it happens, I said that's rubbish. I don't actually have a defense card against it. No, I'm gonna pass. So I take a wound, and you get a rose petal from there. I think it's from there, but I'm not sure because you did a wound to me.
Is that not from the...
Well, no, this is for based on I don't know.
Okay.
And then that goes there. This comes to me. I'm going to go for a finishing move. Twin strike. Do you
So
have
it's a parry.
Yeah. And if you can't parry that, you're toast. Oh, what? Ugh. I thought for sure you weren't going to have a parry. So now I need to play a disarm or grab. I'm going to pass. So now you get to play a attack card or a disarm card if you want. Viper Strike. Ah, that's handy. I do actually have a defense.
You have too many of those. How can you possibly have that many?
But I get to draw a card. I'm going to draw another defense card just in case. Have you got a feint?
No.
No. So I can play a stagger or a disarm. I have neither. So that ends that combination. It goes to you. You can attack me again. I feel like you're relentlessly attacking me.
Can you only use attack cards? Because I'm done then.
Have you got no attack cards?
No.
Then if you can't play an attack card, you have to discard a card.
Ugh. Where does it discard to?
Onto there. Okay, then this comes back to me. And then I am going to go with a cleave. So you have to play a parry or a block.
I can't.
Okay, so you take a wound and I gain a rose petal. So I gain that one and then one from the wound. And then this goes back to you. I take it you still don't have any attack cards, so you have to discard a card. And then this comes back to me and I will strike. So if you've got parry, dodge or block, you have a block. Do I have a shove or leap? I do not. So that is that combat round. Oh, you can play a attack card which you don't have, or a takedown if you do have that. No. So that goes to you, which means you discard a card again. And then this comes to me. And now, because I know you don't have any cards, I'll play the strike to do your last wound.
Fine.
Okay. So, and then I get a rose petal for that. So, as I won the fight, if there was any rose petals left in the pool, I would get those, but there isn't any. We discard the rest of our cards, and then we deal out the glory. So I won that fight because I knocked you out. So I get the big bronze wreath, and you came second as you were the last remaining gladiator in the pool. And then we count up how many rose petals we got. So I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 plus, which gets me a silver wreath. How many you got? You should probably have about 12 plus as well. Yep. So
13.
you get a silver wreath as well. And that is a full event. So basically what we do now is we go through this deck, take out our starter cards, we discard back down to 5 rose petals each. We gain our wounds. The tactics card that we played gets removed from the game. Our gladiators refresh. The first player, active player marker will move on. We'll choose a new gladiator tactics card. And we have a new event. In this case, it is Caesar's Wreath. So this one has 20 rose petals in the pool, and also only gives a bronze wreath for victory. And that is pretty much it. So we'll go through this 2 more times, gaining glory for our glory wheel, playing cards, attacking each other. Now, as it's only the 2 of us, we'll go back and forth like that, as you've seen, so we're not going to make you watch all of that now. But suffice to say, if there's any questions, just stick them down and I'll try and answer that, or Justin from Bad Cat Games, I'm sure will be happy to answer. And we'll be back with the end of the game. See you in a bit. Alright, so you join us at the end of the game. So just before we do end of game scoring, I just want to show you what it looks like. So that was the 3rd event. We had another Caesar's Wreath, which gave us these silver wreaths for winning and so on. And we did alright with the bronze. I think you got 8 to 11. You got 11. Did you get 11?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So you got a bronze one, a silver one, and I got a silver one as well, because you get 2 silver ones for this one. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, victory points. So victory points work like this. So I was the first person to finish the wheel. I actually managed to complete my wheel. So when the first person does that, they get 10 points. The next person would get 8, and then the third person gets 6. Carlos just fell short of 1 bronze or any small pie to finish it.
One
yeah.
slice.
So I get a bonus of 10 victory points for that. Then you get victory points based on what you scored. So the small bronze ones, they are 1 point each. The silver ones are 2 point each, and the gold ones are 3 points each. And then these are doubled of what they were. So that's 2 plus 2. So it's 4. This is 2 plus 2 is another 4 is 8. And then these 2 are 3 each. Oh yeah, I got one. Started with 1. I lost track there now. So I got 3 plus 2 is 5. This is plus 4 more is 9. Plus 6 is 15. So I got 25 points.
I forgot what you said with the different ones.
So these ones are 1, 2, and 3.
So they're worth 1 point.
Yeah.
These are worth 2. This is 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then these are double what their base value is.
15.
15. 15.
Yeah,
Wow.
So there's
So
2 gold.
So basically, I beat you by the fact that I finished my glory wheel. Because I got 10 points more than you, and that's worth 10 points. That's interesting. Well, there you go. So, I am the winner of Gladiatores Blood for Roses. As in this particular game we obviously played 3 of these events, which were those 3 there. So, we had, but there's obviously a pile of other events that could be used. What's up?
These are worth 2, right?
Yeah.
So that's
2.
4.
Oh, yeah, I miscounted, so I got 2 more points.
You got 17.
Yeah, 27 then.
Sorry.
Now you're right.
The maths.
Yeah, maths.
I was like, no, this is not right.
I got a maths fail there. But there's obviously a few other things that make the gameplay completely different in this game. Obviously, each gladiator has their own different abilities. For example, like the Murmelo, which I used against D. No, I used the Hoplomok against D. He uses spear and shield, and his ability Pierce is quite good for when people play deflect cards on them. So that's quite good, that you have different gladiators. The Kickstarter itself actually has 8 on the Kickstarter itself. 1 which is Kickstarter exclusive, 1 which changes the game to 6 players. So there's obviously that. The other thing we didn't use in this particular game is the sponsor cards. So these are sort of one-shot ability cards that you can hand out to people at the beginning of the game. So 1 each. and you can play them at any time during an event, and it gives you a one-time ability. So, for example, like the soldier, once per combat, when discarding a card, you can play this card to claim that card back again. So, those nice little ability cards that you can get there. There's obviously a stack of these, but they are roughly all the same. It's just there's a lot of them. What else? Obviously the betting thing. You didn't see any of the betting in this game. But when you're playing, the other way you can earn wreaths is when you play your tokens. You got one of each gladiator in play token, and you play it face down on the event deck, on the event card, and that basically bets. You're basically hedging your bet on who's going to win before the fight. So if you've got a good hand of cards and you feel like you can defeat your opponents, or you can badmouth them to attack each other, and survive to the end, you can get a bonus wreaths out of that. So there's that option. And the other thing I haven't mentioned, which is not really much to do with the game, but the Kickstarter exclusive box comes with this figure, or this bust, which I'm painting up, and I believe the guys at Bad Cat are going to give this away to one lucky backer or something like that. So keep an eye out on their Facebook page for that. I'm almost done with this, and then this will be going to some lucky backer. It's just a bust of the gladiator that's on the box. The artwork's obviously prototype at the moment as well, so the box might change. I've seen the sleeve on the Kickstarter. That looks really cool. If you want to see better pictures of it, you can go to my Facebook page, Painting Nights, which will be in the link below, just below the link to this Kickstarter, which will take you there. If you liked the head-to-head sort of nature of the game, it's not really take that, but obviously you are going head-to-head, so you're directly attacking each other. So
let's just say, if you don't like conflict, it's probably not your cup of tea. But this is all. I mean, it's gladiators.
Yeah.
Really, I think the theme speaks for itself.
But as you saw during the gameplay, I mean, it's a lot more subtle in how you use your cards. You don't want to run out of cards like Carla did in that first round, because if you do, you become exhausted, and then you just basically people pagger you. So how you use your cards, how you use your tactics cards are interesting as well. So there's a lot of replayability here, with a lot of different events, a lot of different gladiators. I've not played 6-player, or I've not even played 5-player to be fair. I've only played 2, 3 and 4, but 6-player sounds utter chaos. Imagine everyone just running around mashing you. Anyway, there you go. So that's our preview of Gladiatores from Bad Cat Games. If you liked it, please go follow the link and back it, because I'm sure Justin and the guys would love your support. And obviously every $8 counts. The base game, I believe, is £35, I think. They will be demoing it at Essen, so if you want to go try it out yourself, you can go over there and check out the game at Essen. And thanks for watching. See you later.